Hello everyone, this is 10 Tampa Bay Weather Impact Live, and we are joining you on this Thursday. It is currently 4:30, and this is the time when we break down the tropics. I'm 10 Tampa Bay meteorologist Colleen Campbell, joined by
Bobby Deskins. Good afternoon, everybody. Let's talk about Melissa. This thing is still here. This is, remember, this was Invest 98L. We were watching it all last week coming across the Atlantic, and over the weekend it became basically Melissa. All right, well, at the beginning of this week, and now here we are with 45-mile-per-hour winds. It was up at 50 at one point,
right, and
is weakening a little bit. It's still got a lot of westerly shear on it, and some of the models are really still calling for a really strong hurricane here.
Category 4.
And I'll show you coming up here, but there's going to be some wind shear on this thing the whole time. So maybe it happens, you know, but it's not something I had expected the forecast models to come in looking like that, because here we are. It's now 45-mile-per-hour winds. It's come down from the 50 that it was at earlier.
Bobby, the convection definitely looks a lot more robust today, though. Yesterday, it was really just on that eastern side that we saw the convection. Now we're starting to see it more so around the storm, but still you can see that effect of the westerly shear there.
Yeah, but I mean, this is kind of the same thing.
Yeah.
I mean, that's great convection. That's great convection that's falling apart. This is great convection.
Right.
But the center's here.
Yeah.
So it's just not stacked very well. Now, remember, when this was coming into the Caribbean, it was moving 20, 25 miles per hour. So that's tough to stack everything vertically when you're going that fast. But it slowed down. The movement now is 2 miles per hour. So if there wasn't shear, it would get its act together. It is, and to your point, Colleen, it is better than what it was, right?
Yeah.
Especially that area right in there.
Yeah. Now, some of the cameras, we were talking about some camera views that we have available. And Jamaica, I was talking to our producer earlier during the 11 o'clock show, and she's like, people are out in the water in Jamaica, which we don't suggest. They should be finishing their plans to completion. But because of that shear, they really don't have too many storms at this time around Jamaica. Now, Haiti, Dominican Republic, yeah, it's starting to look, skies are grayer, the winds are picking up, the water's getting choppier on the south side. But Jamaica, you know, they probably think that everything is great and dandy. Here, there's a storm that's less than 300 miles away. But because of that western shear, they're really just not seeing the convection south of Jamaica. It's all to the east of that.
Yeah, and that's for now, right?
For now, yeah.
So let's shift and let's look at the latest forecast. And that is horrible for Jamaica.
Absolutely, yeah.
So let me zoom in here a little bit closer. You get an idea. They're saying 60-mile-per-hour winds by later today. All right, it's weakened, but they have recon out there, and so they've got a better idea of what it's going to look like. And then you can see 85-mile-per-hour winds by the time we get towards Saturday morning.
Yeah.
But Saturday morning, remember, there's still going to be some shear on it. There is more shear up here, all right, up in this area here than there is on it right here.
Right.
Or I should say it's right here is where it is now. But it's still, once it comes up into this area here, there's going to be more shear on top of it. So it's going to be tough to see if that can get going. The problem is, number one, if you get it here, all right, where's most of it now? To the north and the east. And that's Haiti. All right, so they're going to get a ton of rain. And then as it comes across, if it gets to Cat 3, now this indicates that you have a more organized system, right? It went from Cat 1 to Cat 2 to Cat 3. And so now you're going to have rain wrapped all the way around it,
right, with
the high winds around the center. So Jamaica gets all of it.
Yeah.
And that's Saturday night, Sunday night, Monday night, Tuesday, into Tuesday evening.
Yeah, and you know, in Jamaica, what is it? The eastern side, that there's a mountain range that runs right along, kind of splitting the country in half. Just that mountain change, I can't think of the name of it. Blue Mountains, maybe. And we were talking about landslides, and you know, number one, they're getting a ton of rainfall, can lead to catastrophic flooding, but also when you incorporate those landslides, I mean, all that rain just dumped on top of those mountain ranges, orographic lifting leads to that excess moisture, and that will basically create a slip and slide, not a great situation at all If anybody's been to Jamaica, you can imagine, those mountainous regions, just how it can become a, not so good situation.
Yeah, yeah. And then the duration, especially if it does get those winds, trees can handle a certain amount of wind, right, for a certain amount of time, but then they get weakened and then they start coming down. And then if you start talking about, which they could see anywhere from 20 to 30, I've seen some models say 31 inches of rainfall, especially on the eastern side of Jamaica. If something like that were to happen, even 20 some inches, now you're really saturating the soil. And they can handle rain, they're in the Caribbean, right? But you're saturating the soil for 2 days, almost 3 days, and you still have, maybe the highest winds stay offshore, but you still have 60, 80, 90 mile per hour sustained winds. And then trees really start to fall. So there's a lot that could happen if this track happens. Right now, the folks in Jamaica need to know that this is coming. They need to make plans now. They don't, as much as they can get out of the way, as much as they can do to protect themselves, they need to be doing that now, because it's actually been pretty nice, decent weather for them so far. They now have a hurricane watch for them and a
tropical storm warning.
Tropical storm warning, yeah. That's right. And that will obviously probably go to hurricane warnings here, or hurricane watches in just a little bit. But that also goes for that western tip of Haiti. Here are the forecast models. And that's just been two stories. Remember, they were coming out here at one point. That doesn't look like it's going to happen. But some of them are coming even further to the west, and these have been out here the whole time, sitting around here and then coming across Cuba. All right, so I kind of stopped it there to show you how many of them come close to Jamaica, which is right in there. Now watch that turn. I really don't think anything out here is viable. All right, eastern Cuba, Turks and Caicos, to central Cuba. To me, that's the spot, somewhere in there.
I'm just amazed at how much of a difference there are in these models. We always talk about outliers. Usually I feel like this point in time when we're tracking these systems, we have better agreement, why would you think that is, Bobby? I don't see this too often where there's such a wide range of possibilities.
Yeah, it's the steering currents. We've got a trough that's sitting up here, okay? But that's not deep enough. If it was sitting down here, that would pull on this more and it would take it up.
Yeah.
All right, and so some models weight that a little bit different. Some of them see that trough was here and the GFS said, oh, okay, it'll just meander and then it'll get picked up and go out.
Yeah.
Right, the European was like, no way that trough is close enough. The distance from here to here is a long time.
Right, yeah.
Right, and that makes more sense, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
But what happens is if it doesn't get this trough, you get a ridge of high pressure to sit over here behind the trough. And so you get one, we've discussed this before, you get one that starts to come up and go, but it doesn't, then it gets caught between underneath this high, and then it comes under, and then it comes up. All right, now that's not coming into the Gulf. I don't want to draw it like that, but that's what's going to happen is that high is going to end up over here, and instead of it just trying to go up at first, it's going to get kind of pushed over, and it's going to wait for this high to be sitting over here, all right? Yeah. And then it's like, okay, I can come up the backside of this high. See the backside of the high right there?
Yeah.
I know it's getting sloppy, but that's what it is. And this is actually pretty typical. A lot of times we see this, but a lot of times we see this out in the Atlantic or even sometimes in the Gulf, and that's a question. Is it going to go to northwest in the Gulf or is it going to come towards us, right? That's some of the questions that we have. But a lot of times this is happening out in the central Atlantic, maybe just east of the Bahamas or south of Bermuda. But happening right there near Jamaica, right in the central part of the Caribbean, puts it closer to more land masses and can cause obviously a much worse situation. Here's the comparison in the models again. So this is through Friday, that's Saturday into Sunday at 9 p.m. You can see the GFS, again, trying to take it over.
Right.
European, that's worst case scenario for Jamaica.
Yeah.
Because the center stays over water, stays strong, and has very high winds right near it, plus very heavy rainfall. And again, we've talked about that. But look at it strengthening. All right, that's the European saying, yeah, it gets even stronger. GFS buys coming out. This is Monday evening, by the way. And then you can see by Wednesday morning, it crosses Jamaica, heads towards Cuba, and then by Thursday afternoon, it is crossing the Turks and Caicos and headed out.
Right.
And this is Thursday night into Friday. And I got to say, that one looks more likely than anything else. Here are the ensembles, and you can see that basically, this looks like a mess, right? But the yellow is the GFS, and there are some members that are over here.
Right.
But then look at these that kind of drift up into here. These members turn and come back, so those are kind of legit. These aren't as much. But the European, lots over here, and then you can see as a result, it gets up over into here and then it comes back up. So European looks like it's probably going to be the winner on this one. No, I hate to even say it that way, right? Especially the way it's going to affect Jamaica. Unfortunately, if that is the one that turns out to be correct, that means a lot more effects for those folks down there. I don't see anything in the Gulf. Have you seen anything that, you know, we're not worried about it, right?
Yeah, no, I mean, as long as we keep having these fronts dip down, and I was talking about this during our 11 o'clock show, a viewer said, what about our water temperatures, which we can go over that too, but these fronts just aren't enough to knock those water temperatures down. That would be great if that happens, but it takes some time. So. Okay,
so we're also going to talk about the wind shear. Let's take a quick break, Colleen, and we'll come back. We'll do wind shear, we'll do those water temperatures, and we have to talk about the real cool weather we're going to get here too.
Oh, yeah.
Before hurricane season hits, it's time to prep your home. Familiarize yourself with where your water shutoff valve is located. If backflow prevention devices are installed, get them tested annually.
Those are some great tips, and Cool Today is here to help you weather the storm. For over 60 years, we've been here to help Floridians with their cooling, plumbing, and electrical needs. We can help you prepare, protect, and repair your home. Call 888-40-TODAY.
I was driving when a Ford pickup truck barreled into me from behind, sending me to the hospital.
I knew my husband was going to need an excellent attorney, so I called Dan Newland.
I'm so glad my wife called Dan. Dan really fought for me. He won my case and got me $650,000.
If you've been involved in a car accident, allow me to fight for you. Call me now at 813-888-8000.
Thanks, Dan, for winning my husband's case.
This autumn, give your home the upgrade it deserves. Save up to 20% during California Closet's Autumn Upgrade event, making it easier than ever to transform your space with our select finishes. Whether it's a walk-in closet, home office, pantry, or garage, our designs are about more than organization. They're about creating space for what belongs. We call it practical magic, expert design that feels effortless. Visit one of our 3 Tampa Bay showrooms or schedule your complimentary consultation today at CaliforniaClosetsTampaBay.com.
Windows are created and installed with different levels of quality. Unique quality that can withstand the tropical climate. Our installers only install PGT custom windows and doors, so we are the go-to experts. Don't take my word for it. We have been named Best of Tampa Bay 3 years in a row, Reader's Choice in Sarasota 3 years in a row, and nationally recognized as Window and Door Dealer of the Year. Price is what you pay, but value is what you get. Give WeatherTight Windows a call today, and don't forget the cookies.
All right, let's talk a little bit about that wind shear that's out there, and a little bit over the storm, right? But a lot over the Gulf and over Florida, and that's what's pretty much shutting it down. And so that's
our little force field.
It's just what we need. But here's what I was saying. I mean, you see there's a little bit of wind shear now blowing onto the system, okay? But look at the island. Jamaica's got more. Cuba has more. So if it does come up more, it's just going to get into more shear. But the modelers are saying Cat 3, Cat 4, Cat 5.
Yeah.
So that, I mean, maybe I'm wrong, but let's see. Let's go out a little bit. In fact, I didn't put a stop in here that's close enough because I want to see, we're really looking out through Sunday, all right? This is Friday. Let's put one here. Saturday there. Okay, so let's start over again. So let's see where that, there you go. I'm going to zoom in a little bit here too.
It's like a little,
so what we've done here is put, that's where the Hurricane Center thinks it's going to be. This color is from the European forecast model, okay? So let's back up. Every time I back up, it's going to take that zoom out of there, right? Yeah. So it does look like the shear does try to come down a little bit right there.
Yeah.
All right, now let's go out. See? Oh, there it is. It's backing off. That's what it is.
I was going to say earlier when I was looking at this model, the GFS, and we tell people this all the time, this is just one particular model run. But the GFS was showing a window of opportunity, but the GFS also wants to have it riding along the trough that's, you know, way up to the north. So, but this is interesting because I did not see this earlier with the European where it's had that break in the shear. So yeah, that would definitely be land of opportunity, if you will, for
and
the
then
storm
you see
to
it
strengthen.
start. Yeah, so it's finding a window there. I don't know how much of that's associated with the flow of the storm itself. So, you know, and sometimes they do that. They make their own atmosphere, right? They can make their own atmosphere around them, and it looks like that's what this wants to do, according to the European forecast model. But that's the window. See the darker. See, you've got it here. Your shear's out here, of course, and your shear is here. But it keeps opening up this window around it right in here.
Yeah.
And that's just probably all that it needs for that. So, oh, God, I hate to see that.
I know.
All right, let's go out to Monday. Still right near Jamaica. There's the center there. Oh, and then it literally just kind of turns. It looks like that almost keeps the center. I mean, the Hurricane Center forecast keeps the center offshore at this point.
Right.
And that's really important because that's where it really is organized. And if you get the center over land, it'll weaken. And that will keep it from, that'll prevent it from getting weaker, if you know what I'm saying. So you can see that in the forecast, Cat 1, Cat 2, Cat 3. By the way, it looks like we just got the 5 o'clock numbers in.
Oh, check them out.
That cone looks a little bit different. Let's back out here and look at that.
I was going to say, yeah, it does seem, I mean, it's been in a close approach to the southern end of Jamaica as is, but that curve that well, also it goes out further in time, right? So the curve that we're seeing, where it kind of just follows the edge of western Jamaica there. I didn't see that before, but I guess that's just because it goes out further in time now.
Yeah, that's all that one is, but you're right. This is just because we zoomed in. You can see that, but that is not going to be good. So let's look at some of the rain, the rainfall that's a possibility here. And again, remember this, it's a model. It's one run of the model, but this is the European rainfall forecast. The pink is 15 inches of rainfall, so over a foot. The white is 2 feet plus, it's 25 inches.
Wow.
So you see the white in here. The purple's even more than that. So you're talking up at 30 inches plus for that. So there's going to be some spots. Now look over here in western tip of Haiti. I mean, Port-au-Prince is over in here, but that area, 15 to 25 inches of rainfall. And less wind for them, of course. Remember, the track's going to do something like this. Probably end up being something like that.
Yeah, and our producer was just saying Guantanamo Bay, the naval base right around there, they also could see a lot of rainfall too. Once that, snakes around, that would be the next area that
well,
needs to be on the lookout.
and if the Europeans right, they're going to get a ton of rain. At least 10 to 15 inches of rainfall at least.
Yeah.
But they could potentially have a good hurricane coming over them.
Oh yeah.
So
absolutely.
Yeah, gotta have plans for that. All right. Let's talk about. Let's shift gears here a little bit. Temperature-wise and dew point-wise, we've seen. Did you notice the humidity was a little bit different today?
It felt fantastic this morning. I
Like
walked out
calic
my
is-
door. I
it's not
didn't want to
sticking
come
up
into
as much.
work. It felt so nice.
It really, because those dew points really jumped. The humidity really jumped up over the last several days, and then that front came through. Actually, I think I saw you had it pulled up. The front, the front was in there. Let me show you where it is right now. The front is pushing through the area right now, so we've already seen some of the drier air in place. Let's do.
Yeah, it's kind of draped to the south there.
Just barely, down to Fort Myers. So that's the difference. All right, that's what makes it feel better. You can see that we show you this view a lot. This is not just dew points though. This is not just humidity.
Right.
This is kind of the humidity all the way through the atmosphere, not just down here where we are. But you can see the front pushing through. Doesn't get too much further, but the core of that will be here tomorrow. So tonight and tomorrow we think will be the cooler part, and then watch as we get into Saturday and the Sunday. You see this green coming back. That's a little in easterly winds. A little bit more humidity here, and we're talking a little bit extra clouds, but that's a small rain chance. Here's the next front, and you see the darker greens out here. That's a better rain chance.
Yeah.
And that comes through, we think, on Monday afternoon. All right, but this is the front that's going to help pick this up. All right, just help. I don't think, watch this. This kind of falls apart.
Yeah, it's fairly weaker.
Right?
Yeah.
But this low develops off the mid-Atlantic coast, and that helps pull this down. And that is the trough. You can see how it's kind of like almost trying to touch right here?
Yeah.
That is the trough
like a
that's going to
broom.
grab
Sweep
it
it out.
and take it out to sea. And then guys, this is Halloween right here. Beautiful weather
Gorgeous.
for Halloween.
Yep.
Let's take a break. We'll come back. I'll show you some temperature numbers for Halloween coming up.
I was involved in a very bad car accident. Called attorney Dan Newland, and it was like 1, 2, 3. Dan really got it done for me. At the end of my case, he got me $525,000.
As one of the largest personal injury law firms in the United States, my team and I remain committed more than ever to win big on your case. Involved in a car accident? Let's get started. Call me at 813-888-8000.
Thank you, Dan, for winning my case.
This autumn, give your home the upgrade it deserves. Save up to 20% during California Closet's Autumn Upgrade event, making it easier than ever to transform your space with our select finishes. Whether it's a walk-in closet, home office, pantry, or garage, our designs are about more than organization. They're about creating space for what belongs. We call it practical magic, expert design that feels effortless. Visit one of our 3 Tampa Bay showrooms or schedule your complimentary consultation today at CaliforniaClosetsTampaBay.com.
Windows are created and installed with different levels of quality. Unique quality that can withstand the tropical climate. Our installers only install PGT custom windows and doors, so we are the go-to experts. Don't take my word for it. We have been named Best of Tampa Bay 3 years in a row, Reader's Choice in Sarasota 3 years in a row, and nationally recognized as Window and Door Dealer of the Year. Price is what you pay, but value is what you get. Give WeatherTight Windows a call today, and don't forget the cookies.
With a fresh new look and over 60 years of keeping Floridians comfortable, Cool Today is the name to trust for fast same-day service. Cooling, plumbing, and electrical. Our friendly expert technicians take the hassle out of home repair today. And Cool Today is here for you tomorrow, too. That's why we're introducing a parts and labor warranty on select AC systems for a lifetime. For cooling, plumbing, or electrical service, get the best from today and for years to come. Cool Today.
All right, welcome back. So before you left, we were talking about some local weather. Just gorgeous. The humidity this morning, I'm sure you noticed it. If you didn't notice it this morning, you will tomorrow morning.
Yeah. Dew points dropping down into the 50s. That is going to feel that means tonight will actually be cooler than what we've seen in a long time for a lot of folks. So tomorrow morning feels fantastic. Beautiful Friday out there all day. Saturday, Sunday, look at the humidity starting to come back up. You see that? And especially by Monday, that is back to where we were just a couple days ago. Remember, because we were feeling good for a few weeks,
right? And
then a few days ago, we had that humidity really return, almost summertime stuff. We'll do that briefly late Sunday into Monday, and then that front will start to come with some drier air as we get into Tuesday. Here's what that looks like. This is Sunday. Notice just a few showers out here, not a lot. These are a few afternoon showers. This is the front here. So it's a better chance for that to get in here with some rain by the time we get to Monday. That's mid-afternoon. But then it starts to clear things out.